Hey everybody, so I had a few people ask about my recording setup lately, and when I polled you all, the response was a pretty loud yes. So today I am walking you through exactly how I go from a blank page to a finished session in the solo room. But before we get into the weeds, I want to be clear that you do not need a massive professional studio to do this. I don't even think I have a massive professional studio. Uh, I am just a person who was a graphic designer and a current UX UI designer, so I have a good eye for how things are laid out, and also I have a good mic. Good audio goes such a long way, but we'll get more into that later. Um, Honestly, if you take away anything, it's just focus on decent audio and cutting out the long silences. You are already ahead of the game. And remember, this is just my personal workflow for keeping things organized and immersive without letting the tech get in the way. And so, also, I won't be doing a deep dive tutorial for each piece of software today or things like that. So that would take forever, and there are already great guides out there for that. So everything that I mentioned today, there is likely a YouTube tutorial already online for it. So I highly recommend going to look up those. I'm mainly showing you what I use and exactly where it fits in my process. So I'll have everything that I mentioned linked in the description below too. So if you want to check those out on your own time. So let's get into it. This will be split into steps because who doesn't love steps? Okay, so let's do it. Step 1, the brain. So this is where everything is notated down and taken notes on. This is Notion. Okay, so you can use Notion online or you can get the app. But so this is an example one of what like my Notion page would look like. I keep a running list of games that I want to play in Notion. I don't really force a schedule on myself. I just pick whatever is inspiring me that day. So I was playing Courier, but then I got inspired to play a Star Wars RPG. So now I'm playing Star Wars. And then I just did Dolmenwood for Fey Week, so that too. So, whatever I think is fun during that time. But while playing, I will jot down major plot beats. And it's not a journal at all because I'm not really a big journaler. It's just a way to remember where the story needs to go for the next session. So I will review those quick plot beats that I write down. And so I'll have a page set up like this, pretty simple. And stuff that I'll have like upcoming. If someone has like sent me their game, I'll add it to this list here. In no particular order of importance. It's really just like what I have the bandwidth for and what is exciting me during that time. So this is, for example, I'll create pages. So let's say Ironsworn Starforged, and then inside that page, another layer of pages, which is just like session 1, session 2. And this is exactly what I did for my Astro Prisma game. And so Astro Prisma will have 20 of these because I've completed 20 sessions of that. So I'll put the date and the number of session, then I'll go in, I'll have the session notes. If there is inventory and gear I need to track, like how much, what I used up that day or what I gained. Starforge doesn't really have tracking inventory, but just to show you guys, for example, if I'm playing another game like Caernathalis, stuff like that. And then for the YouTube section, I will have the title, the description, and the system, because this is just stuff I put in the description of the YouTube video. So I'll have it written down here as well. Any like hashtags, any other links too will go in here. So if I want to link out to like the VTT that I used or the music that you hear, I'll write it down here so I can just copy paste later and edit as I go. So that is how I use Notion as well. Also, in terms of equipment that I use, what you're seeing right now is actually, I have a widescreen monitor. So that's how I mean, if you can do it, I recommend having at least 2 monitors. But I have a widescreen. I have an Asus, about 38 inches, and it's just super helpful. As you can see, I could just place a whole bunch of stuff on the screen. So while I'm playing, I'll have like one screen off to the left here, and then the play screen, I'll have the recording area off to the right, maybe my notes in the middle, something like that. So that's what that looks like. Okay, step 2, the table. And this is the VTCs that I use. So I will use Foundry. So I have all these games here. These are either the games that I'm running for players or just like my solo stuff. So I have the Star Forged Star Wars here. I have Iron Sworn. And yeah, so that's how you get it started. Do a quick backup and then open up Foundry here. And yeah, so basically, if a game is a little bit more mechanically heavy and Foundry has a dedicated character sheet, I will definitely use Foundry. I very much love this VTT. So yeah, but if it doesn't have it, I'm going to Owlbear, just for dice and tracking. So this is for my Star Wars game. So when I'm coming in here, I am looking at my character sheet. That's not Graco. But yeah, this is the Imperial Enforcer that I met in the first session. But yeah, this is my character. The character sheet, I have the starship right here. I will just, I have my character sheet here. I mean, you guys know how VTTs work. But yeah, that's my character here. And I'll have everything set up. As you can see, this is Meld. That's where I record. We're not there just yet, but you can kind of see how it's connected to show everybody how I'm playing. But yeah, so if it's a rules light game, I will use Owlbear Rodeo because it's just a little bit faster and easier. But I'm someone who doesn't mind Foundry, and Foundry is as simple or as complicated as you make it. I make it, I think I'm like medium. So I'm somewhere in the middle because I am more like technically inclined, and I know not everybody's like that. So if you want something a little bit simpler, then I would recommend Owlbear here. And so this is where I'm running the courier game because I don't need much. If I need a little bit more and Foundry has the detailed character sheet, like if Foundry had a courier character sheet, I'd probably be there, but it doesn't. So I just use the physical character sheet, and then I just use this Owlbear for the just the map and tracking where I'm at. So this is Owlbear, and this is like where my character is at right now. And yeah, and I was using it for like Astro Prisma. If I load that in, I was using it for Astro Prisma the entire game, and I was doing a lot of tracking there as well. And that's where the whole setup is. And so tracking the hex map here, and then when it needed to go to space combat, I'd go down here or combat grid. And then I would always have like, okay, this is how the status conditions work. This is how combat moves work. So I wouldn't forget. And then I would be tracking like the factions and stuff on this side. And then what do the locations look like and what do they mean? So I would have that tracked over here. So that's Owlbear. And then it has like trackers here. So if I wanted to track HP, I could do that. There's that. I really like these new tracker features here. Very fun. So yeah, the extension is called Trackers, by the way, if anybody wants to get that. So that is Owlbear. And then sometimes I have a few videos like with I'm forgetting the name. There was one series that I have about 10 sessions, I believe. I'm blanking on the name, but I didn't use a VTT at all. I just set it all up on Meld here. And I just use 3D dice, and that is where we are going next. So this is 3D dice. So I would just use this and like a character sheet. And so as you can see, I'm going to scoot this over to the side. So this is Meld. This is the recording studio. So let's say I'm going to roll again. I'm down here. I'm going to roll 3d6 again. And then you'll see off to the right, it appears here. And there you go. If you want to clear the table, you can hit that. And so it will also pop up like this dice log. You'll see 1, 2, 3. It was a 6. And it shows up on the recording side of things as well. And the dice will appear. Oh, the game was called Befallen. So my Befallen series just used 3D dice and just the recording studio. And then everything else I had created an overlay in Figma. We'll get to how I create stuff, but and then I just added it to this recording studio and I just rolled, and then you guys saw dice roll over. There you go. So that is how that works. And so the way that I connect everything, so I would this is the dice log here. You would just go to streaming tools and then copy the roll log. It like generates the roll log, and then right here. So I click it, it's copied, and then I would just add it in here. into the recording area. So the URL, the browser link, add it right here, and then there you go. So you can see the roll log. I did the same for the actual 3D dice. And then, anyway, that's how that works. But yeah, so if I'm not using a VCT, just a 3D dice overlay, so you can still see rolls happen. I know I do that because I personally like to see the dice log and the rolls on the screen. I like to hear the little clitter clatter of the dice. That's just me. I think I'm not a dice goblin, but I do still appreciate like the dice sounds and including that at the very least. Okay, step 3, the atmosphere. So this is more of the visuals. So we went through Foundry, Owlbear, dice rolling. Now it's time for visually speaking. How do I add all this stuff in? I use like moving scenes from James's RPG art, as we're seeing here on this site. Highly recommend James. He is in a lot of the backgrounds I have for most of my games. If I can find something from him, I'm going to use it. I use it because it looks cool, but for me, it helps me get into the mood a little bit more too. I'm subscribed to his Patreon, so I'm like, hey, if I'm subscribed, I might as well use it, and I like it. It looks great. Like these aren't just for the audience who may be watching. It really helps me to like get into the scene a little bit more, very much feel the vibes of where I'm at. So yeah, it does help with theater of the mind type play and adds immersion, as the website is saying. So yeah, I think it's really cool. And he has such good stuff. So I highly recommend it. He has JPEG versions, GIFs, MP4 versions. I use the MP4s. It's really cool. I like it. Not only him, if James doesn't have something, or maybe you just want like a different style, I'll go to Zepeku, and I'm part of their Patreon as well. Their scenes are just very beautiful, top-notch scenes as well. So you probably have seen a lot of their stuff in my games too. And this is a new one. I haven't used this one yet. This looks cool. Wow. But yeah, I'll use stuff like this. It looks great. Just feels really great. It doesn't have to only be solo scene, like solo play either. I use this for group play when I'm jamming. Always get compliments. The players love it. It's really good stuff. So that is Zepeku scenes and James's RPG art. That is what I use to make stuff look cool. Okay, step 4, the voice. And now we are talking about audio. Let's go. So the next thing is audio. I don't want to be subjective here. I think objectively, audio is the most important thing in any kind of medium where you want an audience to chime in, unless for some reason it's a silent type thing. But audio is so important. And if you have decent audio, like I said at the top, you're already ahead of the game. I don't know because I've seen a lot of actual plays, and I don't think a lot of people realize how important audio is, because I've seen like just really crappy audio, and then people just still upload online consistently. So you guys, audio is very important. So I currently use the Shure MV7 Plus. I got this last year, I believe, and this is the exact one I'm using right now. And it is black, and I guess you could get it in white if you would like. It shows when I purchased it. Yeah, I got it in March last year. Very good investment. Mics, just like DSLR cameras, they hold their value. I can have this mic for a very, very long time, and I most likely will. I'll have it for many more years. Now this is kind of pricey. It is $269. But I knew I'm just going to have it for like 5 years at the least. And the way that I sound now is I'm still going to sound like this in 5 years with this same mic. Maybe I will upgrade, but this mic sounds so good already. So I knew that I was going to keep it for a long time. So I think it is a good investment, personally. It is like the little brother to another famous mic, which is the Shure SM7B. This is what a lot of podcasters use. You'll see this on like a lot of YouTube videos. This is a very, very popular one, but it's almost $400. So that I didn't get it because of the price, but then I also learned that like this one is just as good. There might be little things here and there, but I got one that was 150 plus cheaper, and it sounds amazing in my opinion. So that's me. But if you don't have the budget for this right now, the one that I used before, I used the Blue Yeti, this one right here. It was around $100, yeah. So I would recommend these, or even like, I don't know how to pronounce it, the Fifine. Also, legit budget microphones. But again, also this Blue Yeti Nano, another good one. So I would just look into Blue Yeti at the very least. These are very good external mics. You want to be heard clearly. And the other thing that I did use, you guys, like this mic is what I'm using right now, but sometimes I would just use my gaming headset. A lot of my Astro Prisma videos are actually with that gaming headset, but I used the editing software to make me sound a little bit better. So there's that too. So I would just, if you have a gaming headset, but then you can make yourself sound better after editing, that is another method to go through as well. What is my headset called? I've had that headset forever. I can't see the name of it. Is it an Acer? It's something. But anyway, it's a gaming headset, and I've had it for like 6 years or something. So I'm a person who's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type person. If I will keep something till the wheels fall off, unless it's a cell phone, I upgrade every year. But anyway, so that's the audio. I can't stress enough. It's very, very important. I did use, like I said, for a lot of my Astro Prisma stuff and other games, because this channel is more laid back. So I was like, oh, I don't have to pull out my Shure mic for this, because it's just like me playing games, and this mic that I'm using now kind of gets in the way. So I would move it out of the way if the headset is not in the way. So I would use that for a lot of my recorded games. I recently moved, so the only mic that I can use currently in the space that I'm in is my Shure mic, but I would definitely be using my headset mic all the time, a lot more, because I think it's serviceable. I'm not trying to, for these games in my solo room, I'm not trying to be too top tier, but I know that people are listening in, so I do want to respect that as well. So that is the sound portion. Step 5, the soundscape. So next is music. I always keep a music bed running underneath my voice. I use sources like Bardify, you see right here. I use Fantasy Plus. I backed their Kickstarter last year or like a year and a half ago, and I just went all in. I went all in on their full package or whatever. So I will use so much of their music and ambiance, and that's not just with my solo room, but every editing project I have, I'm using Fantasy Plus by Monument Studios. Music is so good. It's top tier. It's very well made, and so that's one. And then if for some reason Fantasy Plus doesn't have something that I need, I'm going to Pixabay, where they have royalty-free stock here, and so I'll go to the music section here, and I'll just type in whatever I'm looking for, like the keywords I'm looking for, or sound effects. So these are the two big things that I'm using Pixabay for. Sometimes I'll get like photos and like illustrations and stuff like that, but I'm really here for the music and sound effects if Fantasy Plus doesn't have it, or it's like taking too long to find. And Bardify has a lot of good stuff here. For example, I am listening to this right now. This is not Bardify, but I just have this on. Bardify has a lot of good stuff that you can like play under your games and get you right in the mood. Events and situations is where I'm at a lot of the time, because, okay, I'm now in a suspenseful scene. Put on the suspense track. Oh, it's getting tense. Tense negotiations is going on. Oh, I just killed my character. I put on Last Goodbye. Something like that. Or if you're investigating a mystery, like putting that here. Yeah, whole bunch of stuff. Highly recommend Bardify. And then when it comes time for combat, type in low intensity combat fantasy or whatever. This is what I play whenever I have combat, because there's so much combat music that's like so epic, like final session against the BBEG. And I'm like, I don't need that. I'm just like fighting some goblins in the forest, or I'm fighting some bad guys in a hallway. This is not the end all be all type situation a lot of those tracks make it out to be. So yeah. So just type in low intensity, and there's a whole bunch of playlists where literally I use a lot of this. Like zombie attack is a good one, ambush at night, forest skirmish. Like, yeah, this is perfect. Again, a lot of the stuff I don't just use for solo, but yeah. So that is the music. And I guess the biggest tip is to keep it chill. You don't want the music fighting your voice or becoming a distraction. So you still want it there, but not too loud. Your voice speaking is actually more important. If the music is getting in the way, it's better to not have it, but you gotta just find the right balance. Okay, time for step 6, the capture. And so this is all about Meld Studio. So let's head to Meld. Meld is for live streaming and recording. It's a studio for a whole bunch of people. If you're a musician, live streamer, however, it's just like similar to what OBS would bring you. I found Meld last year and I liked what they were all about. Because I am also a UX and UI designer, I liked the modern features of it all. I stopped using, this is OBS right here. I guess we could put them next to each other. And OBS is getting a little bit better with the UI. This is my first time pulling out OBS just for this recording. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff where if I wanted to do simple stuff, I'd have to like download a plugin and do all this stuff with OBS. With Meld here, it's already in, and it's so nice. And there's a lot of like design features here that are similar to the design software I use. So when I found Meld, it was like, I just fit right in. It was really good. So there you go. Oh, it looks like you can play around here on the actual page. So you're gaming here, you got your podcast. Yeah. So basically that is what I use. Highly recommend. It is free to download. You can use it for live stream, but you can also just use it for recording. I use it for both. Depends on what I need for that day. And you can live stream to a whole bunch of places and do a whole bunch of stuff. It's really nice. So that's Meld. Highly recommend it. But if you already have OBS downloaded and you're sticking with it, that is fine too. But this is just my preference. So this is Meld here. And yeah, so whenever if I go live, like sometimes I'll do live streams randomly for the solo room, I'll go live there, or most likely I'm just going to hit record in the upper right here. So yeah, this is where everything comes together. I will add in the VTT, the moving scenes, my mic. I don't add the music here, but you could if you don't want to add it in editing. So this is where the dice log would go. This is where the VTT is. And this is the background video here. So if I go here to inspect it, I have the opacity all the way down, so I can there we go. So that is the background video. I added it here. You hit the plus button and then you can add in a media source. And that's just a video that's on my computer that I just added in for the background. But I didn't want it to be too distracting. So what I do is I turn down the opacity here over to the right. So I think I had it like at 50. I could add, it's called a Gaussian blur, right? Make it a little bit blurrier so it's not too distracting. Turn down the opacity, and there you go. And then you turn on the VTT, all that good stuff, and the dice rolling. This isn't the VTT, like this is where Owlbear would go, but it's just showcasing this webpage here, the Meld page. So that is Meld Studio. And if you see the scenes right here, these are all the scenes for like Solo Ironsworn. When I recorded that, my Astro Prisma stuff here. And then I have Star Wars, Starforged, my Grey Jedi series is all recorded here, all that. So that is Meld Studio. Highly recommend going on YouTube, going on their Discord. They have a bunch of tutorials and helpful videos on how to use it. Okay, step 7, the magic. So this is how a 2-hour session becomes about a 45-minute video to an hour, I will use Filmora. This is the editing software that I use. And I cannot stress enough, my favorite feature is the silence detection feature. I love being able to pre-record my games because I can sit for like 10 minutes and think about my next action. But you guys will not just be sitting there for 10 minutes, right? So you will not see that. It will not, it will not mess with the length of the video. It immediately detects that and will just cut it. And you have to be a little bit careful because you don't want to start cutting yourself off. You have to start tweaking it a little bit to whatever works best with your mic and the volume and the levels and stuff. But that silence detection feature is a godsend. Okay, so because I'm thinking, I'm looking up rules, I'm typing up notes. A lot of that is just cut out. It is boring to watch and just have sitting there. Like don't leave that in if you're going to record actual plays. The silence, the note taking, the just sounds of typing. Yeah, cut all of that out. But yeah, so my goal is to always keep videos about an hour or under. And so I want to keep these to be something you can finish like during a lunch break or right before bed or when you wake up on Sunday morning, something like that. However, but I don't like to go over that hour time frame. But that's a philosophy I have for all my actual plays, not just the solo games. So that is Filmora. Highly recommend. It has a lot of features. Filmora kind of reminds me of Figma in the sense that it can be as simple or as complicated as you make it. There's so much stuff I haven't even looked into or touched into myself, but it is a very good, very legitimate editing software. I know other people will use like Adobe or some Adobe software or Final Cut Pro or something like that, which that's cool too. A little too complicated and for my liking, but Filmora, it has been really, really good ever since I've been using it. I started last year using it, but I switched over from CapCut, which is also a really good software as well. I would recommend CapCut. It's a little bit simpler. You can get even simpler if you use Microsoft Clipchamp, I believe it's called. So that's even like dead simple. If you're like, hey, I'm just getting started and all of this is a little bit overwhelming, then I would look into Microsoft Clipchamp as well. So, but the trajectory I would say is Microsoft Clipchamp, and then so let's look at it's an online video editor. It is dead simple, y'all. You just upload your video. You can clean up the audio. There's like royalty-free assets. Does it have silence detection? I'm not sure. I would look that up. But you guys, silence detection is the best feature ever. I use it for every one of my videos. I'm going to use it for this video. But anyway, the trajectory, if you're like, oh, I want to start simple and then slowly learn to get better at editing, then I would say start at Clipchamp. You could then go to CapCut and maybe just stay there if you want. Find whatever works. And, if your videos come out well, stick with that. And then a Filmora. And then if you want to do like Final Cut Pro and get real professional, it's up to you. But I'm so set with Filmora and it works so perfectly. And like I said, that silence detection, it also does dynamic captions. So it will add captions to your videos for it. So when I'm making shorts, the dynamic caption feature, also another godsend. And just like a plethora of other little features that I use are coming straight from Filmora. Like people ask, oh, how do you get that audio visualizer? And that's a Filmora like feature. Has a lot of so it's like it has a lot of effects that I'll just use. Like it's really cool. Has filters and has stickers. So like if you ever see a YouTube like subscribe sticker or little animation, it's from Filmora that I just found there. Has the really cool titles and transitions and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, I'm showing this because it's the one that I use, but you could definitely go simpler if you would like. Okay. Step 8, the packaging. So how do I make thumbnails? I use Figma because it is the industry standard for UX and UI. I do it as like part of my professional life, and then use it for the creative side of things too. Figma has a free tier. You can get started for free. At least that's what it says. Anyway, I've had an account with them for like 4 or 5 years, so I'm not sure what the free account offers anymore. But I don't know if I highly recommend it. For newbies, most people don't have the that kind of design eye. So what I recommend people all the time in the TTRPG space, and what you'll hear recommended a lot, is Canva. Canva has a lot of templates. So I would recommend Canva. Use their templates, keep things clean and professional without needing to be a pro designer. So I'm already a designer. That's why like my videos will look a certain way, or my thumbnails, or how I'm creating like the overlay. So like when I created the one for Astro Prisma, I created this in Figma, which I will show you. But all this was created in Figma. Then I exported the image, and then I added it to Meld Studio. But if you're like, I have no idea how to make that, or like, what's the first step? Go to Canva. It has lots of templates, and there's a lot of videos on YouTube on how to use it, how to create stuff too. Again, YouTube is going to be your friend with tutorials on everything that I'm mentioning here. But yeah, so I use Figma for my thumbnails because of my design background. So let's open up Figma just to give you an example. So I use Figma for all my games and when I'm creating overlays, when I'm playing with others. But a lot of these are the thumbnails. Like for example, this is the Monster Week one, the Star Wars one, Courier. It's all here. Elegy, Dolmenwood, I created all here. And this is where I created the Astro Prisma. Every episode, I would just come in. Okay, for example, let's say I was going to part 21. I'm not, the series is over. But yeah, that's how that would work. And I would just go in and change a number and then boom, export it. But yeah, this is Figma, you guys. It might be a lot for a lot of people. This is how I created the Savage and Sorcery overlay. And then I would put this in Meld and then add the numbers in Meld as well, because Meld you can add text. So I would add all the text here on top of this little overlay. And so, yeah. Also, here's a little sneak peek of little character sheet. I've been working on kind of silently a 2D8 solo framework kind of game in the background. Will it see the light of day? I don't know. But I'm having fun getting inspiration from other games. There's a little sneak peek for anybody who's watching this video. Yeah, this is Figma, and that is how I use it. So we're going to close that. And the final step, step 9, the extra mile. So some people prefer to just listen while they drive or work, and I respect that. Love that. I do too sometimes. So I export my finished videos from Filmora into RSS.com. RSS lets you create a free podcast site. Well, your first one is free, and then if you want to create more, like there's like a cost, you have to like subscribe or something. But I just have my solo room, so I'm using the free tier. Works great. Export my videos in MP4, and then when the MP4 file is done, I will export it again, but as an MP3, and then I will import them. Or upload to YouTube and RSS at the same time. Just copy paste the titles and the description, and then we're set. And then I will set them to go live on the same day and time. And so, yeah. So, I upload the MP3. This is a free account on RSS.com, and the sessions go live at the same time. So, yeah, it is actually free for your first podcast, but it gets the job done. It's very simple in how it works. It's very intuitive. Highly recommend it if you want a free one. But you can also do Spotify as well. And Spotify will basically do the same thing, but Spotify actually lets you have multiple podcasts under the same email. So either or, whatever works. And so that is it, everybody. Hopefully me walking through my whole setup and how it works was helpful. Just a little behind the scenes look of what I use. I guess as a recap, like when I'm about to play a game, I will have the VCT open. So let's say Owlbear, what an actual game looks like. So let's see. Let's open up Owlbear. And this is just me going over like, okay, so what does an actual session look like when you're getting started? It looks like this. I'll have Notion open as well for notes. I'll have some music playing somewhere. And then I have Meld Studio. And then I hit record. So it will usually, so right here is usually where, so let me add in Owlbear. Boom. And so that's what people would see when they're watching my Astro Prisma stuff, this exact setup. And I have my mic going, Owlbear Rodeo. And then when I roll dice, you guys would see that here. I didn't use this dice roller. Anyway, but yeah, you guys would see all that. Yeah, you would see the tracking, all that good stuff, right? Also, these sounds are like so satisfying. They knew what they were doing when they created this. But yeah, so I have this up, Notion's up in the background taking notes, and then I'll hit record right here in the upper right of Meld. I record, I'll stay silent when I need to, when I'm taking notes. A session can run, I can be sitting here for about 2 hours. What you guys will get is trimmed down to an hour or even 45 minutes, which just goes to show like how much time is actually just like sitting in contemplation or note taking. But yeah, so I hope this look into the process helps make starting your own solo journey feel a bit less overwhelming. Watch the video again if you need to. Links down below for everything that I mentioned. And honestly, just focus on your audio, cutting those silences, and the rest will come with time. If you're having fun while you're playing, people will like that. Just have fun and showcase your excitement playing these games. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for hanging out in the solo room, everybody. And I will see you in the next session.